The child's voice shook like a tiny flame in a storm. His hands clutched a broken toy truck smeared with dust, his eyes red from crying. Behind him, a bruised woman struggled to stand, her cheek marked by a fresh slap. "They broke my toy, and they hit my mom," he whispered, trembling. "Please, don't let them hurt us again." For a moment, the world stood still. The sound of engines rumbled like thunder in the distance, bikes revving, tires crunching gravel. Then, as if the earth itself answered the boy's pain, 12 bikers appeared on the horizon, leather jackets glinting under the sun, faces carved with fury. Without a word, they turned toward the abandoned factory in the valley, the place where the boy's tormentors waited. And when powerful engines roared like a storm ready to break, every silent breath in the village held one unspoken truth. Aram was only 6, but life had already taught him more fear than joy. He lived with his mother, Noor, in a tiny house on the edge of an industrial valley. His father had left years ago without a goodbye, and Noor worked from morning till night in the old textile factory to survive. Every evening, Aram waited patiently at the dusty street corner for his mother to return. She always brought him a tiny smile, and sometimes, just sometimes, a small wooden toy she carved during breaks. She called them his brave soldiers. That day, Noor returned exhausted, hands blistered, but still smiling. She had saved for 3 months, skipping meals, walking miles, to buy him a second-hand battery toy truck. It wasn't new, but to Aram, it was magic. "Baba never bought me anything," he whispered, hugging her tight. "I may not have much, but I have you," Noor replied, brushing his hair gently. "And that is enough for me." But joy in their world had always been short-lived. 3 men, drunk and laughing, stumbled out from near the factory gates. They spotted the child and his toy. Their leader, a man with stained teeth and bitterness in his eyes, snatched the truck from Aram. "Kids don't need toys here," he growled. "This valley belongs to men." He slammed the toy against the rocks. Plastic shattered. Aram froze. He didn't scream, he didn't run. His world simply stopped. "Please, give it back. That's my only toy," Aram whispered. The man sneered. "Ask your mother to buy another one." Then he looked at Noor with a sick grin. "Or maybe she can earn one." Noor shoved him away fiercely. "Stay away from my son." His palm struck her face so hard she staggered and fell. Aram burst into tears, running to her. They laughed and walked away, leaving broken plastic and a trembling child. Noor hugged Aram close, tears mixing with dust and blood. "I'm sorry. My baby, I'm so sorry." But a sound echoed, not laughter this time. Engines. Heavy. Growing louder. Aram looked up. The bikers, the ones villagers whispered about, were returning. They were not police. They were not criminals. They were something else. Men who had once been broken by the same world, now sworn to defend those who couldn't fight. Their leader, Khan Baba, a giant with a gray beard and eyes hardened by life, saw the child kneeling beside his crying mother. He didn't ask who did it. Their pain said enough. "Who hurt you?" he asked softly. Aram lifted the broken toy with shaky fingers, then pointed toward the factory. The bikers exchanged looks. Engines roared. "We ride," Khan Baba commanded. And the valley held its breath. The old textile factory was once a symbol of hope. Now it was a graveyard of dreams. Inside worked desperate women, men without rights, and children forced to clean machines for pennies. Overseen by men who knew only cruelty. When the bikers turned their engines toward it, dust clouds rose like war smoke. People peeked from windows. Doors cracked open. Hope, something forgotten, flickered alive. Noor tried to stop them. "Please, don't, they'll hurt you. They will only make things worse." Khan Baba kneeled to her level, voice low, firm, carrying decades of battles he never asked for. "There are moments in life," he said, "when silence is the greatest sin. A child cried today. That is enough." Aram clung to his mother's clothes, eyes wide, heart pounding. The world suddenly felt like a movie, except he was in it, and the heroes weren't wearing capes. They wore scars and steel. The bikers marched into the factory courtyard. The same men who hit nor stood there, laughing, until they saw who had come. Their smirks vanished. Who broke the boy's toy? Khan Baba asked calmly. Silence. Who raised a hand on his mother? Still silence. The leader of the bullies scoffed. Get lost, old man. This is our place. Khan Baba stepped forward, gaze cold enough to freeze fire. This valley belongs to no tyrant, he growled. Not while we breathe. One biker placed the shattered toy on a metal drum and lit a match, melting its broken pieces, not as surrender, but as a symbol. We do not forget pain, he said. We turn it into justice. The confrontation erupted, not chaos, but righteous fury. No weapons, only truth, strength, and courage. When the dust settled, those who terrorized the weak no longer stood tall. Cries inside the factory turned to applause. Workers stepped out, wiping tears. For the first time in years, they felt protected. Khan Baba walked back to Aram, crouched down, and placed something in his small hands, a handmade wooden motorcycle. Toys can break, he said gently. But strength, courage, and kindness? Those never break, little warrior. Aram hugged him tightly. Noor sobbed, trembling but smiling for the first time in months. The bikers mounted their engines again, steel thunder rolling across the land like hope reborn. And as they rode away, one thing became clear. Real heroes don't always wear uniforms. Sometimes they ride motorcycles and answer tears with action.